Hello everyone, I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. In this video, I want to recap our trading action that we had on Friday from our trading room. So let's talk about some of the stuff that we knew before coming into market open. The first thing I seen when I woke up at 4 a.m. was Israel and Palestine. Israel had told Palestinians to evacuate Gaza within the next 24 hours, letting everybody know that a ground invasion is most likely getting very close. We knew we were having earnings coming into the first day of a brand new earnings season, and earnings did come in pretty decent so far. But we didn't know all that at the time. Well, before market open, I guess we did. Banks did come in pretty decent. We also know we're coming into some big tech names next week. We were having consumer sentiment and inflation expectations at 10. The market had been acting very weird. The market had finally started to pick back up after a very slow summer, and we had started to see option flow picking up, and a lot of things were really improving in the markets. The moves that we were getting, things were starting to work again. And Tuesday, things just started to weird rate out. We had got some news come in about Israel at the same time. We got some news coming about the bond. The auction market went bad with the bond market, which actually happened twice this week, and we had seen them move down both times. So we're not really sure what's causing this. The FOMC minutes, we were hoping that was it, like maybe a holding pattern. That kind of come and went. Market's still really acting weird. So we did realize that, so we knew, take profits quicker until we see actual moves. Just be a little more cautious in the market. Still opportunities, but we just have to be a little more cautious when the market's acting like that. Would be nice to see it, improve again. So the market had gapped down at 4 a.m. and then, or actually started to move down at 4 a.m. and then was actually raging higher going into market open. Netflix had got a downgrade, AMAT and LRCX had gotten upgrades, and the Microsoft and Activision deal had went through as well. So we're going to start with the 5-minute chart. We have the 5 on the 5, and our first opening candle, we had got a nice green candle for our first opening candle on the 5. Our 5 was right there. The bears did come back in, or the sellers did come back in and reclaim a little over half of that candle, which is giving a little bit of bearish sentiment right there. But as of right now, let's get our MACD on. As of right now, the MACD looks good. We have a goose head in our MACD. And a really nice candle here. The band is suggesting more upside. So right now it looks like we are going to go higher, at least for a few candles. At this point, flow is coming in. It's leaning a little on the bullish side, but it is fairly mixed. And breadth at market open was raging higher. So that was a good look. The market was trying to go higher. Breadth was pushing in the same direction. And flow, the first couple orders come in, so the first 3 orders on the SPY, they were calls. Then we had picked up a put. Then we've seen a few more calls and another put. So it was leaning more bullish at open at the time from what we were seeing. And we were seeing some green on our scanners as well at market open. And you can see the second 5-minute candle taking out the first 5-minute candle, giving a great wick play there and pushing higher. Remember, a wick play is a candle body that trades within the previous candle's wick. I actually prefer these. That's not perfect definition. I actually prefer these because they pull back first, and then I'm waiting for that snap back up. It's one of my favorite trades. I talk about it all the time. So that's our second 5-minute candle. Let's go into the 1-minute chart and see what we look like here. So you can see your first candle had pushed up and very flaggish there, trying to break out, struggling. This candle actually closed above, should have worked there and come crashing back down, and to put a set of pipes in here to finally break like a little H-buy pattern there. So it's even though that 5-minute chart looks good, you can come in here on the 1-minute chart and you can really see the struggles. We're getting a little goose head here. Looks like he's been partying a little too long, so it's definitely not perfect, but it's the same concept. Pull back, never cross, open back up, and kind of looks like a bird head and a beak there. So let's continue on the 5 and see what we get. So you can see we're finally breaking above on the 1, trying to push higher. Now we have this 436.43 level up here. Keep in mind, all these levels are on the chart way before market open. Great looking goose head in the 5-minute MACD. Price is trying to push higher here. We're trying to finally break out on the 1. Got that little goose head there with the 9 and 20. We talk about it all the time. We prefer, or with the 9 and 5, we prefer to see it within a 9 and 20, but that leads for a short-term move. You can't expect a big move. You can expect a nice move off of that, but not a super big move, not a trending move. And you can see right there, little struggles with the MACD, a rejection at the 436.43 level. See what the next candle does. Breaking back down, you can see that candle come back down, tested that 9, looks like it was getting a breakdown, and then was able to close, push back up, and the buyers were able to close up above that candle right there, barely. But will that start to stair step higher? That's what we're looking for. And let's go look at the 1-minute chart. So we're looking for a candle to close above to start to stair step higher. Here on the 1, I want to clear this level right here for a move up into the, so for me, it's just a scalp. At this point, I'm just looking for a scalp until I clear that level. I know that level is good because we just got rejected there. I know that just got confirmed, other than it's been confirmed resistance before in the past. I know this level just got confirmed as resistance on the rejection of that candle. This candle right here, for me, I need to see this 1-minute candle push up above this candle line and push. Now, we just got to close higher on the 5. That's indicating, that we're getting ready to start to stair step higher. Let's see what we get. We're going to watch the 1-minute time frame, and we're going to turn up. Since we're going to watch the 1-minute time frame on this setup, we're going to turn that 5 off. And you can see there's part of the push right there. Now the bears come back in for that candle, trying to pull it back down. Will we see continued higher? That candle did close up above, exactly what we were looking for. Coming into the 9, will we see this 9 turn up and get us back to the level? So right there, you can see we almost, at this point, we're still looking for a touch of that level right there. Went very close, still didn't quite get it, still respecting that 9. You can see your 9 and 20 right there forming our pattern for moving averages that we call the goose head. We can see that forming right there, indicating possible further upside. So we did get this candle to close above. This next candle even closed above better, but we can definitely see them sellers stepping in there, which we could see on the 1. Let's go back to the 1 here. Still respecting that 9. You can see this candle's trying to close above. It wants to go. Somebody's sitting up at this level trying to hold them back. So we have a seller sitting at our level trying to hold the buyers back. We can see that they keep coming in and trying to push it down. As of right now, we've got a nice trend line running through here. Let's go and put a little trend line in this area. Gives us something, just some kind of idea. Now this market's been really sloppy, so I have not been hugging these candle bodies as tight as I should be, or tight as I normally would be, and that's just because it's a sloppy market. So I'm leaving a little more room for sloppiness, and that's all it is. All right, still trying to trend up into that level, and this is the line we were watching here. So that candle tried to dip below, never closed below that line, and there's your dump. This candle gapped down and started to dump. Now, when that happened, automatically this becomes the range low, automatically becomes your first target. So if you were able to catch that down to that target, you did great. I caught that down to the target. Did not catch the rest of that, but I caught the target. That was my target, and I took profits at my target and got a great trade. So it broke down. We did get a close below here. So this close below is a signal that we are going to go lower. Now, this does not mean that the market needs, especially with this slow market, this does not mean that this market needs to go straight down. It does not have to do that. That indicates that this market wants to go lower. But, sometimes like when we set targets, we talk about this. We set a target, but it does not mean, that we don't. We have a target where we think price is going, but we don't know the trajectory of the or the plan that price plans on taking to get to that target. Keep that in mind. Sometimes you can, it may hit your target, but it can be a rough hold sometimes. On the 5, this 20 here right now is support. So we do have 20 on or support at the 5-minute 20. So let's see what the next candle does here on the 5. Let's get the 5 on the 5 back on. So they're trying to take it down. That candle actually barely just kind of closed below the 20, but you could definitely see the bullishness in that candle. The buyers are definitely trying to take that back up without a doubt. See what the next candle does. Finally trying to pull back here. So this candle closing below the 20 there, indicating that we're getting ready to pull back and start a move down. Now, we talked about that on the 1 minute chart a while ago, that that candle right there indicated that we were going to move lower. Look what happened. This candle pushed back up, heading back up to retest the short-term moving averages, and kind of hung around, tested the moving averages, waiting to get back below. What do you get here? I know this is a long wait, guys. Waiting for this to set up can be a long wait. You feel like if you get in here, you can make more money. But what happens right here? You got a close below. Close below starts what? Starts the stair step down. And you can see follow through on that candle, coming right back up, flagging again and breaking back down. Let's go back to the 5-minute time frame here. So see what this next 5-minute candle does. This one's starting to get pretty extended down here. Plus we got the 200 here for support. And right there, you can see we tested the 200, tested the 200. The bands are definitely trying to open up right there. Still holding that 200. So right now, you know that 200 has been tested 3 times and was able to hold. That is confirmed support without a doubt. We, in the Discord, we don't need to test that many times to get confirmed support, but that's what we have there. And still the 5-minute chart, we can see the 5s coming back down. But there's something here. You can see them wicks up. There's something here holding them down, but you can definitely see those wicks that they do want to take the market higher. So we do know there's resistance there. That 5 on the 5 is resistance. Right there, this 5 on the 5 was cleared. You can see those wicks wedging at that 5. This candle was able to comfortably clear that 5, close back up above the 9. Very choppy. Let's go take a look at the 1-minute time frame here. So we can see normally this 5 is not on, so let's get it turned off. So you can see here on your 1 minute time frame, this is where we put in a triple bottom. This candle actually closed below that one. I really thought we were getting ready to go lower there, and definitely did not. We end up reversing and pushing higher. Looks like a very kind of weird W pattern there. Either way, this was the level. At this point down here, we were looking to get above this level before we were looking for a move higher, because it was so tricky down here. You know, we ended up drawing a box in this area. I don't think I kept the box. I did draw it. For me, it was breaking this candle line, looking for a break of that candle line for a move higher. Here you got a great looking MACD, kind of very triple bottomish in this area. Like I say, that was a higher or lower low. We still end up breaking higher off of that. Some crazy action there, but a nice push higher. Let's go back to the 5. And overall, the market was pretty choppy here, and it was actually putting in a pattern. And you can see right there breaking back down. So right here, and I know a lot of you watching this video that are not in my Discord are going to tell me that this is not, but you have shoulder, head, shoulder, downward sloping head and shoulders pattern right there. It's not super textbook, but that's okay. I don't care how you see it. That's a lower high. 1, 2, 3. Pivot point 1, pivot point 2, pivot point 3, crossing pivot point 2 is your entry, however you want to look at it. 1, 2, 3 reversal. Looking for a close below this area right here. Now let's get this 5 back on the 5-minute time frame. And right here we start to break down. That's coming out of that head and shoulders pattern with a great move down. At this point, when we break down, we were watching. This is your ultimate range low. That's your ultimate target. We were watching this area here for horizontal resistance as well. So we're getting a close below that area right there, suggesting more downside. That MACD is rolling over. Bollinger Bands are spread open for us in both directions, signaling, the market expects volatility coming in. And you can see right here, trying to go lower. At this point, this is your area that needs to be cleared. That's your range low. I know it's a pre-market level. Please keep your pre-market levels on the charts while you're trading. So the 9's coming down. The 5 is right there. Just looks pretty bearish. We did put in a lower low. The price waves got pretty short there. MACD is changing character. So we did put in a lower low, but that was a pretty short price wave. So we need to be aware of choppiness or possible reversal coming up. And we can see we're pretty extended here. That 5 on the 5 is on the way down. was able to push down and close lower. So a nice candle close down here in this area, was able to we actually didn't close lower, but we were able to move down into our zone. You can see the buyers come back at that zone. As of right now, the bands are still suggesting more downside, but you can start to see your first uh, change in color. So we have the darker red histogram bars mean the fresh bearish momentum is coming in. And as you start to see from the break turn to dark, it's just letting you know that the bearish momentum is fading. Does not mean the move's over, but definitely is a signal. It's a clue. Things are changing. Next candle. And definitely some weakness here. Still holding under that 5 on the 5. But you can see a change right there. Those two long-legged dojis. And you can see the buyers come back in on this candle. You can see they're trying to come in on these two candles, but the sellers are definitely sitting there. So our target to the downside after breaking loose here and getting below this level would have been the 431.8773 zone. So we're still hanging out here, waiting on let's get this 5 on, waiting on the 9 to catch up. The 5 is right there acting as resistance on the 5. Bands are still suggesting a move down here. Doesn't mean it's got to be a huge move down, but still suggesting another move down. So for me, this is another opportunity to make some more money coming right back into that same target area. Let's see what we get here. If we can break lower, and you can see we just got a strong candle to hammer right back down into our zone. So bands are still suggesting some downside here. And we do end up seeing another move lower after a soft rollover here, and then we do end up going lower. But we get into a choppy area where the price waves really shorten up. So I want to move ahead, and we're going to look at a head and shoulders pattern that we traded. So let's go take a look at that, try to save a little time here. So we end up having some really nice chop. You can see we come down, broke down through. We end up forming this another head and shoulders pattern. And even if you don't see the shoulder, head, shoulder, you definitely have an H cell pattern there. This is a little tricky because we are dealing with a zone. Let's go ahead and draw the trend line because we did have a trend line or a neckline drawn. In the Discord, it was not perfect. Bring this up like this. But definitely not bad for a little upward sloping head and shoulders here. The only thing is we do have this zone. So we're looking for not just a break of the neckline, and where this is an upward sloping head and shoulders, normally with an upward sloping head and shoulders, you're looking to break below this horizontal resistance area. Well, actually, this would be your first target breaking out. When you're dealing with an upward sloping head and shoulders, you want to break below this armpit here. And this is a normally, because just breaking the neckline, you could push down and find resistance right there. So we're looking for a breakout below this level. But in this particular case, because we have this zone here, we want to be below 431.73. So let's see what this next candle gives us. We need confirmation below that level. Boom, we just got a strong down candle. So this one candle right there gives us some small brighter histogram bars coming in. That second candle, histogram bars growing. Strong candle. We are extended here now. Bands trying to come down. We are expecting follow through off of this candle. We need to see that follow through before entering the trade. That's the confirmation out of the So that's your confirmation candle right there out of your pattern. For me to take a trade here, I need to be below this confirmation candle or get a different setup. Let's see what we get. So a different setup means this wants to push back up and go in search of that 9 because your 9's not crossed that level yet. So we know this may try to go in search of the 9. And then I'm looking for a setup for a retest off of the zone or the 9. You're getting a drowning goose setting up right there in your moving averages and moving lower. And as we said earlier in the video, we're going to talk more about that in a short coming up soon, very soon, probably today. We'll talk more about the drowning goose itself. But here we can see it forming, breaking down. That's all suggesting further downside. It does not mean it's got to come right with the next candle, but it very well could. So let's see what this next candle gives us. Your next candle actually gapped up a little bit, pushed up close higher back into the bands. See how this band's turning here. Does not mean we're not going to see more downside, but that band, the way that's turning like that, coming back into the candle, tells me that we got a chop. Tells me we need to reflag to our breakout area and our short-term moving average and or our short-term moving average. Sometimes we just test a 9 and then move lower. Sometimes we come back and retest the breakout area. I love the breakout area trade. But we're still looking for more downside here. Just don't think it's going to come right away because of the way that band's acting. And we talked about that in the Discord. I've actually been using these bands as a timing method for my trades to keep me out of the bad trades. So we do have this MACD, or your moving averages coming lower. Your moving average is getting ready to break below your neckline. Next candle, still no close below the confirmation candle. We have to take that confirmation candle out to go lower unless we get a retest of the moving average for a flag. The good thing is we are now back into the Bollinger Bands. See if we can try to get a flag here. You can see a pretty tight little contraction pattern right now. This candle right here. So all these candles are trading within the range of this candle. So we are contracting here. So since we're contracting, let's draw a box like that. Not going to hug the candle body super tight because this market's sloppy. Staying on the wick up there. Now I still want to be below this candle range, so I'm leaving my bottom of my line to this candle because I want to take out that confirmation candle. So the box looks a little sloppy. The market's a little sloppy too. See what the next candle does. Right there. Candle tried to turn out, confirm out of it, and end up getting snapped back up. Confirming back above the 9, still below the level here. So when you're dealing with a contraction pattern, contraction, expansion, trend, the expansion phase can be pretty wild. So this could be a push up to snap back down. We could continue higher. We could continue higher, come back up and retest. There's a lot that can happen here. That candle rejected at our zone and closed back below. Now we're breaking out of a head and shoulders pattern. So we're expecting a rough ride. All right, so this is what Head and Shoulders do. They like to put in some bases that make you think they're getting ready to go to the moon, and we talk about that all the time. And we're talking about that while this pattern was forming too, by the way. So coming back down, bands opening up. We were expecting more downside back there. This actually looks like a falling 5 there. Seeing rejected back down below. So let's see what we can get. Still looking for a move down off of that Head and Shoulders pattern. And there's follow through. Signaling right there, that's your candle right there that actually signaled more downside. That confirmed. Now we formed a falling 1, which is leading to more possible downside if it's confirmed. The bands here are suggesting more downside. MACD histograms are lightening up quite a bit there. See if we can flag and get another move lower. So right now we're bear flagging in this area, flagging back up to the 9. Let's see what we get here. Still seeing rejection. We did close above, and this candle got slammed right back down below. That band right there suggesting more downside. See how it's pinching back down? MACD does look like it wants to roll lower here. See the little arch there? Let's get a line drawn here. So we do have a bear flag. We're not going to hug the candle super tight because of the situation, like the way the market's been trading. It's very weird, very off, very slow. So we're leaving a little extra room for just a better confirmation to increase the probabilities of us winning our trade. Still holding that 9, still holding the bear flag and trying to move lower here. And you can see your bands right there trying to turn up. So we need to continue to push them down. And right there, breaking down to move lower. Bands opened up. Nice. It's a bigger flag, and it looked like it wanted to go higher. That candle actually closed back above that 20, but you can see the goose head, your drowning goose, setting back up here for a move lower. MACD, red histogram bars coming back in. So that was a fake out. It did look like it wanted to go higher, and it did break up. But if you draw your line, it didn't actually break any trend lines there as well. So just still staying within the trend. And plus, if you look here, you look out and there's a longer term trend above us as well, which we weren't even close to pushing up, but there's a bigger longer term trend that we're just not going to talk about. So we did see a nice move down. There was a couple more candles that followed through that. We're getting ready to call it here. The video is getting a little long, but there was a couple more candles that get follow through off of that before pushing back up and retesting our levels. So I hope you find this helpful. And of course, I hope to see you in the trading room. Have a great day.